I just read David Wright's piece, What It Meant to Be a Met. And I thought to myself, what's it mean to be a Met fan? So I decided to write a few things down. My dad's from the Bronx, my mom's from Queens. Both my sisters were born in the Bronx, but my brother and I, we were born a little bit upstate. Not upstate to real upstairs, but upstate in a town called Washingtonville, New York. Choosing favorite teams is a real dicey family business and unforgiving neighborhood business. I went with my dad's 4 teams, the Mets, the Giants, the Rangers, and the Knicks. So what's it like being a 55-year-old Met fan? I'm going to tell you. It's being 4 years old and watching your father from the Bronx and your maternal grandfather from Queens interact. It's trying to understand their relationship and their dynamics. It's being a child and starting to understand the importance and influence of sports when I watch them and hug and laugh when the Mets win the World Series in 1969. The bug bites me for the first time. I don't remember all the details, but I remember the true joy in our home. It's that next summer on a Saturday afternoon with my dad and grandfather at Shea Stadium for the first time. I remember it was the first time I ever saw baseball in live color. See, we had a black and white TV. I remember that day meeting Wayne Garrett and seeing how orange his hair was. It's being 8 years old in 1973 and learning what hope means by watching Tug McGraw and the constant chatter of "You Gotta Believe." While at the same time, you watch your friends that are Yankee fans suffer through a rare losing season. It's Sunday, October 21st, 1973. Seeing your dad really upset because Game 7 between the Mets and the A's is being played at the same time that our favorite New York Giants are playing. He says, "Those TV executives wouldn't be doing this to the Yankees, I can guarantee you that." It was the first time in my childhood that my Catholicism kicked into some conspiracy theory mode. Was God punishing my Bronx-born dad for actually being a Met fan and liking something from Queens? It's hours later that same evening, crying my eyes out about Game 7 and having my mom and dad hear me cursing, literally, Bert Campaneris and Reggie Jackson. It's getting the paddle. It's having my mouth washed out with soap on the worst day of my 8-year-old life. The Giants lost too. It's the next 13 years from age 9 until I'm 21, listening to my buddies Anthony Vendetti, Joey Picone, Rich McDonald, Matt Spencer, Paul McHugh clown me and abuse me constantly for being a Mets fan. 8 of those 13 seasons, my Mets finished with a losing record. As a fan, it's embarrassing, but I'm learning at a very young age how to compartmentalize things in life. Well, that's until June 15th of 1977. The Mets trade Tom Seaver. I'm 12 years old and I'm fighting the emotions of a child and an about-to-be teenager. Am I allowed to cry or not? You're darn right I cried. I cried my eyes out, down in the basement, away from my friends, so no one could see me or hear me. I swear off the Mets for the first time in my life, not knowing if I can really quit them or not. You know, my buddies that are Yankee fans are starting to court me at my weakest moment. Pretty disgusting stuff, actually. They're playing on my love and respect for Thurman Munson. You see, I play catcher in Little League and then in high school, and I wear number 15 all through high school and Little League. I refuse to cave and still love my Mets. But from 1977 to 1982, the Mets' only all-star players are Lee Mazzilli, Joel Youngblood, and catcher John Bad Dude Stearns. Seriously, 6 seasons and only 3 all-star players. Out of an act of loyalty or stupidity, I changed my baseball number for 1 season to number 12. I mean, John Stearns played college baseball and football at Colorado. He was a safety. He was drafted by the Buffalo Bills. I mean, why not? I love football more than baseball, so I can make this number change. But then in August 1979, baseball makes me cry again. Thurman Munson dies in a plane crash. I remember exactly where I was that second. At that moment, I made the adult decision to remain a Mets fan, but to always wear Thurman Munson's number 15 in baseball. I mean, heck, John Stearns changed his number for Lee Mazzilli when he got to the Mets. Now it's Saturday, October 25th, 1986. I'm boarding a plane in Los Angeles with my Central Connecticut football teammates. after a heartbreaking loss to Cal Poly. We're listening to the radio, and the Mets are about to lose the World Series to the Red Sox as we take off. My teammates and roommates are asking me how it's going to feel washing the dishes and cleaning the apartment for the rest of the semester, because that was the bet. But then it's landing in Hartford's Bradley Airport the next morning to find out that we won Game 6. It's 2 nights later, October 27th, 1986, at a hastily arranged kegger, watching real time as Jesse Orozco strikes out Marty Barrett and launches his glove into the air. It's watching my roommates, the Everett boys, doing dishes for the next month. It's 1988, having too much confidence and watching an incredibly talented team implode and lose the NLCS to the Dodgers because of bad character and bad makeup. It's learning a lesson about team building that I'll use in the future. Then it's the next decade without a playoff appearance. Being a Mets fan is the spring of 1999 and going to a Mets game for my bachelor party. No booze, no bars, just a beautiful late spring day with a small group of friends to watch the Mets win. And Bill Belichick asked me while we're there, aren't we at least going to eat some bad food? It's the hope of the 1999 playoffs and the hope of the 2000 World Series. It's Thursday, October 26, 2000. My first season with the New England Patriots, but it's our bye week and we have the night off. Surely God has a plan. I'm going to see the Mets turn the series around at Shea Stadium and meet a couple of my childhood buddies. You see, because every Met fan dreams and believes that beating the Yankees in the World Series will equal all of the world championships that the Yankees have accumulated. But this night becomes every Mets fan's worst nightmare. I'm sitting in Shea Stadium with 2 of my childhood buddies, John Ludke and Tom Bohan, as the Mets lose the World Series to the New York Yankees. The 3 of us look at each other and can barely say a word, other than we all make a pact to swear the New York Mets off for life. We're done with the Mets. Walking our separate ways, we all know we're lying to one another. It's just a matter of time, but when? Being a Mets fan is waking up on Nantucket every July 1st morning and thanking God for the birth of your daughter on her birthday. It's being in that space of pure joy and absolute love until you open up the internet or get an email from one of your buddies reminding you that it's Bobby Bonilla Day. I mean, seriously, my daughter's birthday is going to be Bobby Bonilla Day? Ultimately, though, it's June 9th, 2019. I cave. It's my first time at Citi Field. Yeah, I can hold a grudge. I'm sitting in between the on-deck circle and home plate with my 80-year-old father, my brother-in-law, and my nephew. I'm walking around the ballpark with my dad, looking at old photos, at old Mets memorabilia that they have, and only remembering the good. On that day, even after 25 plus years in the NFL and being a part of 5 teams that went to Super Bowls, I'm thinking, man, it doesn't get any better than this. It's reading David Wright's article in the Players Tribune, What It Meant to Be a Met, and thinking to myself again, as a fan, I wouldn't change that journey for anything.